Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Semi-Perfect Podcast. It is February 12th, 2020. And, I am running the podcast here tonight. Sarah is at work doing the good thing, paying the bills. She is the breadwinner tonight. And, so I get to run things, and who knows what the hell's actually going to happen. So I will do my best. So far, we have with us PaleoSteno.
Hi.
And Laura. Uh-oh. Did we lose Laura again?
I guess so.
Excellent. No, Well, Laura's here. Just take my word for it. So while, because we got a little bit later of a start, about 15 minutes or so past the hour. First off, again, welcome everybody. Come on in.
Hello.
Hello, Laura. You're back
What the
again.
heck is this?
I blame
I'm
Saber.
not changing anything.
It's Saberspark. As a reminder, if you ever want to do shout out or whatnot, want us to read something over the podcast, we got the super chat option, and we'll also utilize that later in the show when we have our Q&A session that we do at the end of every show. So, as a reminder to everyone, again, hashtag SPP Foods. We're going to be jumping into the food post here in a moment. I think... let's see here. Sarah, or Toodles, my wife, just posted on Twitter. And I think she was asking for everybody... Let's see here. Wishing everyone on the Semi-Perfect Podcast all the best. Sorry I couldn't be there. Give ACRacebest lots of encouragement and good vibes as he struggles with the streaming program. Thank you, Sarah. So anyways, Laura, since you're here, we said hello, Laura.
Am I here?
You are here.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yay.
Mm-hmm. Now, while I was struggling with everything, I asked the chat who was with us. I wanted them to tell me what is their plan, because in 2 days it is Valentine's Day, or as some people like to celebrate, Single Awareness Day. So, as I look,
I thought it was Sonic the Hedgehog Day.
oh my God, no, isn't that Thursday? Oh, technically,
Going
I mean, the
Doomsday.
official release date is Valentine's Day.
You're right. You're
Oh my
right.
God.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll talk about Sonic, but I'm eating Cheetos just in case anyone's concerned. Don't worry, I live the brony way. Let's see here. I'm gonna read some of these. I think like the second or third entry we have was somebody saying, "I'm seeing the Sonic movie with my mom for her birthday." So that's Nathaniel. Good on ya. Gotta give mom the love on her birthday. Soundboard says, "I plan to just relax at home." Cadet says, "I'm looking for the sweet, sweet candy." Railroad Brony says, "Sit home and lay in bed all day." PXY, "I plan on playing games and hanging with family." What is this? Drummershy says, "What's Valentine's Day?" "I'm playing an anti-Valentine's Day party at Power Plant Live, rock and roll, and My Chemical Romance." Elias says, "I don't know, some video games and seen Scarface in the night." There's a Valentine's Day tradition. The perfect romance. Scarface. iRaven says, pretty much staying home. Nora says, "Get my brows waxed, dog sit, get fast food, and watch a cheesy movie on Netflix." See, Nora's got a plan.
Yeah, that sounds like a good day.
Like that is a full day right there. And dog sitting. You get the dogs, you get the food, and you get the movie.
Hell yeah.
Oh man. And the chat just updated. Let's see. Anonymous Unknown says, "My Valentine's is 4-week-old kitten I found on the street last Saturday." Oh. College makes dating tough, says PXY. Yep, don't worry. Once you get out of college, there'll still be plenty of time and people. Ponage wants to know, "If you have time, will you be my date race?" After Sarah and Saber, of course. I think that's worth working in. Fernando just says, wash your hands. I refuse. Lunar says, I'm giving my girlfriend a big heart-shaped box of chocolates and also a Valentine's Day card, while Taylor has the only right answer as far as what will be happening on Valentine's Day. Says, NASCAR trucks are racing at Daytona. Those are my plans. Good plans, Taylor. That is correct. Yeah. So, yeah. Welcome in, everybody. I hope you're all having a great night. Again, right now, we're just kind of holding down the fort with the... Whoa! When did Craig show up?
I guess Sarah did it, because apparently you have to do it within the general chat, not in the cast-only chat.
Oh, oh my gosh. Wait, is Sarah watching us? Hi, Saber. I see him. I don't hear him.
Yeah, Saber's here.
I wonder if Discord's
Saber,
having
are
issues
you
tonight.
there?
Because Laura had issues. Maybe Saber's having issues now. I don't know.
I continue to have issues. I just had to unplug and replug in my mic.
Gosh. You know, if you do that fast enough, you will make your computer very excited.
I don't know if it's speed or technique, so, you know.
Honestly,
I'm not a computer, so I can't say, you know. Or, like, I don't know.
We don't want to assume, like...
No, like, I mean, the computer knows better than I do, so I just do what the computer wants.
And that's why, for everybody, communication is key. Yeah. So, it's a miracle that this podcast is still permitted on YouTube. Not for children, everybody.
I feel like for YouTube, it's pretty tame.
Thank you. We try. Let's see. Yep, so that was Sarah. Even when she's not here, she's actually doing more than I am in regards to producing this podcast. So, oh man, that requires a Sarah chant. Okay, well, eventually we're gonna get Saber in here. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up. We'll see how this goes. The hashtag SPP Foods. We want to see what you're eating during this wonderful night. First thing I see is the drinking game has been updated. Courtesy
right.
of Laura. Thank you, Laura.
Isn't it cute with the picture and everything?
Oh my god, it is. It's adorable. Okay, I am going to attempt to pull this up. I don't know what you're gonna see on the screen, but let's just freaking do it. All right. Hey, sweet!
Hey.
I did it. Sarah's gonna be so proud, guys. You have no idea. She probably was waiting for me to call and be like, "Hey, canceled." All right, so the SPP Foods. There's still time to get them in. Fritz Roll, we'll start with you since you have a potentially dangerous picture. Fritz Roll, look at this. Following media includes potentially sensitive content. View. Oh my god.
Man.
Oh my god, it's an apple. How dare. Like
Scandal. Apples.
Apples. Pears. Fritz Roll says, here's my fresh dinner for tonight. By the way, in case you guys ask what produce it is, they're cucumbers. It's always cucumbers. Also super excited for the next 2 weeks, aka the 25th. I think there was more to this writing.
See, because I'll be turning 21 by then, yay.
There it is. Yeah.
Oh, hype.
That's weird. That
Happy almost birthday.
Yeah. And thank you for... What is that? Is that chicken?
That looks like chicken.
Thank you. At first I thought it was a fish because of the shape. And I'm like, no. I'm dumb. Taylor says, after an awesome weekend at HarmonyCon, or Harmony PonyCon,
Nice.
it's time for another food post for the Summer River podcast. Here, here's some California Pizza Kitchen. CPK in the house. There it is. Yes. Oh, man.
You're eating a kitchen?
Yes, in California. It's tradition. Nora says, "Que pasa, semi-perfect podcast. I got funfetti donuts." Oh my god, that sounds so good.
Oh, what? That's a thing? That's lit.
That's a first for me to learn about these. From Mojo Donuts. Also, I smell like the beach. 'Tis the life of a mermaid. We expect no less. No less.
This next one.
Oh my god. Okay. Railroad Brony says everything else is irrelevant. Now, I made the legendary spaghetti tacos for the semi-perfect podcast.
I'm sorry, what?
This looks like something that you would put on shitty food porn.
What even?
Oh my god, you're right.
This is like I imagine that the way this was created was somebody was walking through the Sizzler buffet line, and they're like, well, there's spaghetti and there's taco shells. Why not? I can't even.
I love
I
it.
can't believe Saber's not here to say anything about this.
I know.
He's too busy listening to Spotify.
It would make him
Yeah.
sad though, because it's just carbs on carbs, and he's doing the
Keto.
keto diet.
Yeah.
All I'm-
keto, whatever. I don't want to say it.
All I'm saying is that scene, like you said, a shitty food porn post like this, it only
Yeah.
makes sense that right next to it, it's trending my 600-pound life. I have no idea what this is even referring to, but there it is.
Oh, it's a show that's on TLC, I think, or something.
Well, it better have spaghetti tacos, otherwise not legit. Nikki D says, back at work for the Semi-Perfect Podcast, got a new phone, munching on Swedish fish and peanut chews and drinking water. See, that's healthy. You got the water. So that's all
You
you
got
need.
water.
Yeah.
And that's protein in peanut chews.
Peanuts are good for you.
Mm-hmm.
What is this?
Oh yeah, I also saw Survivor 40 was trending, and I was like, what does that mean? It's like the 40th season, and I was thinking like, seasons are like once a year, right? Am I over 40?
Wait, what was it?
Survivor, the 40th season of Survivor. Survive.
Survivor.
Wow, why did I go
Survivor.
Survivor.
Your true accent is showing. Sarah was ready for this, by the way, because I already see it was retweeted and liked, and we're gonna come back to this. But
Nice.
this is what is apparently deemed the unofficial drinking game of the Semi-Perfect Podcast. However, I feel like it's pretty official, Laura, especially when you say drink responsibly, nerds with a heart. Version 1.2. So we'll take a look at this. We'll have some fun with that. I need to. Oh wait.
Yeah, man.
See, I need to frame properly. Guys, I'm learning so quickly. I wonder if Sarah's watching. She says, "How you doing?" I'm telling you, she probably figures I have a lot of time to talk right now because, like, there's no way that I'm pulling this off. Mr. Webster, I'm prepared for the SPP drinking game. How appropriate that this is right after Laura's post with the Four Loko. God,
Oh no.
Is that stuff pretty hardcore? Like, I don't know.
It's I believe it's like caffeinated and alcoholic, if I'm not mistaken, which is like
God, you four locos. That's
Terrible.
16 locos.
16 locos. Finally, the proper amount of locos.
All right, here's a question I have for you guys. I'll lead into the question. PXY says, it's a fried chicken kind of night, small portions, though, because I'm actually making loads of progress on my health and fitness. Gym has been so much fun and rewarding. Also, shout out to Jack Splade, because I've been following his advice for years. Good for you, PXY. Also, good for you on treating yourself. As we see here, Bojangles. Have you guys been to a Bojangles?
Yeah, they're everywhere here. Yeah.
I've never been to one. Is it good?
I just want you to know that, like, because sometimes my internet has to catch up a second, so there's like a bit of a lag every now and then, and it happened right as you were asking if Paleo knows what Bojangles is, and it sounded like, have you ever Bojangled?
Have you, Paleo? Have you ever Bojangles?
Just know that. Just know that when you go to Bojangles, it's bow time.
Whoa!
Is that really a thing they say?
That's what they say in the commercials.
Oh my god.
It's bow time.
It's bow time.
There's a Bojangles that's on the way to Virginia, and I'll exclusively stop there to take a shit. And what's so wonderful about
Welcome to the podcast, love.
No, but like, hear me out.
I'm listening.
I'm stealing from them because I don't eat there. What I'll do is it's
Wait,
across...
is this the one that plays the Christian music next to that other place?
You got it.
Yep.
It's I will stop there to walk Lammy. He'll shit in their grass, and then I'll go inside and shit in their store, and then we'll both leave and go eat from that restaurant nearby, but pull back into the parking lot to eat in their parking lot because we wanted to spit in their eye one more time. It's
For clarification, the restaurant that he's saying he does get food from is all drive-through, so there's no interior. So even if he wanted to, could not go inside to use their bathroom.
Oh, that's true. There's a really cool restaurant. It's called Pal's. It's regional to Tennessee. Good burger place. Kind of reminds me of In-N-Out, funny enough.
Okay.
And Race, you'd like it. You would like it a lot, actually.
Well,
it's good. Really thick ass milkshakes, dude. I swear.
Oh. So, what is it about Bojangles' bathroom? Like, is it a nice bathroom, or is it just it happens to be the place that you stop when you eat at the drive-thru?
Something that's very important to me whenever I do pull over from a drive is a clean bathroom. I feel like a lot of us are that way. And like there are some of those gas stations like Pilot have some pretty clean bathrooms. Nothing quite compares to Buc-ee's, as you and I both know.
Yes.
For Laura and Paleo, do you all know of Buc-ee's?
Nope.
It's a Texas chain of gas stations. These things are like miniature
I thought you were
Walmarts.
gonna say Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Mm-hmm.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre of gas stations. No, they're like miniature Walmarts. When you pull up to them, these pumps, there's like what? Race, it's like 30 pumps.
No,
right?
no, there were, I don't think I'm exaggerating. I think there were 64.
It's huge. It's a massive gas station. And when you go in there, they have a dedicated janitor who stays in the bathroom at all times to make sure the bathroom is like spotless. It's wonderful.
Whoa.
So, but yeah, that particular Bojangles I stop at is clean. Always playing Christian music in the bathroom.
It's extra weird when it's like 11 at night and there's like nobody there and it's just like, Jesus is my friend.
There was one time where I really had to use the bathroom and I'm sitting on the toilet and there's that Christian song. It's like, I'm forsaken because I'm forgiven because he was forsaken.
Oh my god.
I'm sitting there having flashbacks to middle school chapel service because I went to a private Christian school, which had mandatory chapel service on Wednesdays. So yeah,
More like Crapple service.
Whoa. I want to come back to this. I'm gonna finish up with these food posts though. Nathaniel saying currently having some pepperoni and spicy Italian sausage pizza I ordered back on Sunday for National
I miss
Pizza Day. Oh man, I'm gonna get some
Nice.
every day. Probably gonna have some this weekend. So that's good. Drummer Shy says food post, I guess, and he's got Pop-Tarts. Strawberry frosted Pop-Tarts. And his face. Now wait a minute. Oof. That is all. I will hit the like button on that one. And then, two just came in. Jacob Piper says, I am having chicken curry rice. That looks good. Look at that. And then Jack's Blade. Oh, God. Jack's Blade with his about to eat my vegan, gluten-free, soy-free, raw, no GMO, organic, low-carb meal.
Oh my god.
This is what
That's another shitty food porn. It's just ice.
This is what we aspire for. Oh, gosh.
It's everything. It's low calorie and
It is.
hydrating.
It is. All right. That's.
At first, so you have to click on the image to open it all the way on like mobile. I just saw like a little bit of the picture and I thought there was chopsticks in the bowl and not a spoon. I was like, damn, that's impressive.
I'm looking this up right now. I'm looking up the. What the hell? Oh, that was my laptop. I'm like, I'm hearing noises.
Wait, where's Sarah?
Oh, So she finally had enough.
I don't blame her.
Yeah. She's at work right now. She had a night shift tonight.
Oh.
She volunteered for it. She said, please, anything but the podcast.
Knew it.
Let's see here. I want to make sure that I didn't lie. Okay, all right. Buc-ee's pulled this up. World's largest convenience store. The Buc-ee's chain is known for its supersized interstate highway stores, but the one that opened in 2012 in New Braunfels is the biggest of all. The numbers are impressive. 60 gas pumps, 84 toilets, 80 soda dispensers.
Wow.
Oh, and they have like hundreds of like options for beef jerky. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that was I remember at Fiesta Equestria in Texas in like 20, I think it was 15 or 14, where like Sarah's father brought us like some beef jerky from Buc-ee's, and it was just like the best jerky I ever had in my life. And
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, this is great.
Yeah. No, it was. I'm trying to remember the circumstances around that, because we must have flown in. That was the year after I think we did the drive, because obviously we were with Sarah for that. So for this one,
Yeah.
Sarah's dad Willie dropped her off, and it was, she got there in the morning, which we're like, oh, it's so early. It was probably like 11. and
I still struggle with that, where folks like start their day at like 6, and I'm supposed to start my day at like 8:30.
it's just yeah. Ugh. So, yeah, I'm gonna like Sarah's post here. She actually even put up a little bit of an itinerary for us, because she really.
Uh-oh, what did we lose?
What's up?
What was that?
What happened?
That was weird.
Well,
Did,
We
did
live.
anything happen? Did Craig
No.
leave?
No.
I don't know. All of a sudden, I heard. Did I cut out? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think you would have heard the sound if you had.
let's just continue.
Keep going.
So what's the next thing? Race best.
That's it. Food post was it. Well, I'm just curious. Laura, let's start with you. How have your last 2 weeks been since the last podcast?
I've been fine. I've been kind of looking for new apartments. Because I'm, still where I'm at working, and I had this apartment that I'm currently at for a year, and that lease is about to end, and I don't much care for the location or the property management, so I'm going to try to find another place and see how that goes.
Okay.
It so far has been not great looking for apartments. It's just like in this area, there's a lot of like nonsense with like pricing and stuff, so it's just kind of a pain in the ass. But hopefully things
Blah.
will work out.
Good luck with that.
Thank you.
I just shut down my laptop, and now it's like beeping at me. Stop it. Paleo, what about you?
A tornado went through my neighborhood.
Well, that's new.
What?
Yeah.
Did you die?
Yes.
Cool.
No, no, so yeah, a tornado went through my neighborhood last week, on Thursday, and like, it didn't do any damage, or nobody died or anything. It didn't do any major property damage or anything, but it did knock down a lot of power lines and trees, and the power was out for about 3 days. Which included both the internet and the cable and the landline phones.
Oh my god.
So we had a bunch of trucks out here for about 3 days working on everything. But yeah, the tornado touched down like right near my aunt's house, which is like a block away from my house. And apparently went towards the town that I live near, which is the town that I went to high school in, and there it actually like damaged a bunch of the bleachers in the baseball field, and it blew in the garage doors on the fire department.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But yeah, like nobody got hurt. No, there wasn't any like major damage besides that. So
That's
that was lucky.
Wow. Yeah.
Tornadoes are scary, bro. They're like, fuck this place in particular.
Yeah.
I remember in Georgia we get them pretty often. You know what's amazing is the entire idea of like going to a bathtub, or like I'm so confused over the notion of tornadoes, and they're like, oh, jump into a ditch, don't jump in a ditch, go under a bridge, don't go under a bridge. It's like it's
give him the stick. Don't give him the stick. Oh.
Well, it's like, what do I do? Like, I guess I stand here. It's 400-mile-per-hour winds. I guess I'm just kind of like at the mercy of it, no matter what. But I don't know.
Yeah. They're like, it'll better your chances by 0.02% if you do this. Oh, good. Yeah, no, that's crazy. I've only come close to dealing with a tornado once before, and it was in Texas. It's the first time I went into Texas. And when I say come close, I just mean like there's a tornado warning. And I was like, whoa, how do you guys live like this? And they're like, it's common. Oh, okay.
Same way you guys live with traffic in SoCal.
It's common. Oh man, Saber, what's new with you?
Nothing. Played Warcraft 3. I finished the first campaign for that.
Nice.
That was fun. I did the. It's amazing because I played the campaign, and there's only one level that I actually failed at, and I was so upset. Not like genuinely upset, but more of like, really? Where is this some stupid mission? For those who don't know, Warcraft 3 is an RTS, real-time strategy, command armies campaign. I was one army trying to protect this one unit for 20 minutes. I did it until the very last second where the unit I was supposed to protect died. And I was like, you're kidding me. Like, literally, I was about to like cast a heal spell on the guy to keep him alive for one more second. I couldn't make it. And then I came back with a vengeance the next morning. And then I beat the campaign today. But outside of video games, I finished Kipo and the Age of Wonder Beast tonight.
Oh hey, I watched the whole show.
Isn't it so wholesome and fun?
I loved it.
It's good. I don't want to spoil it, so I want to hold back on spoilers. Maybe we can discuss it next time. But talk about a good show that I'm looking forward to seeing the next season. It's fun. I do have one complaint, but I will hold off on it until next time. But all in all, though, that show has also a fantastic soundtrack. Like,
yeah,
incredibly good. Besides that, I'm just getting work done like that, you know.
Nice.
Sorry, excuse me.
Well, all is forgiven. Yeah, on my end, it's this continuing trip down kind of memory lane for me. I decided a few weeks ago that I forget what exactly it was. Something prompted it, but basically I wanted to start preserving a lot of old media, specifically like old family tapes on VHS. Went through figuring out how to do it and doing it. And it's so much time, but it's been really fun to kind of look back at all that. So that's really been a big part of my last few weeks. Now, while I'm doing that, since it takes so long to transfer, I continue working on the Bronies React to the last problem. And so that continues to come together. I made some solid progress in the last week. So yeah, still a lot of work to do on it. And yeah, hoping to make some good progress here. A little bit tonight, probably some tomorrow, and then really hammer into it starting like next Monday. So yeah, that's all coming together. Also been, like I said, going through boxes in my parents' garage and finding old scripts that I wrote, old stories that I wrote, old essays that I did. I was really good at BSing, man. Like some of these essays, I'm like, where the hell? Like, how do you even connect some of this stuff? It's just beautiful.
Hey man, if the American education system's good at anything, it's at teaching you how to bullshit knowing anything.
Exactly. And that apparently
That's
like,
how politicians are born.
it's so funny
Goddamn
because
right.
some of the stuff that I read that I wrote is so like politically weird for me to read that I wrote. That I'm like, that's interesting. Like, was I sucking up when I wrote this? Like, I don't know what my mindset was. So, like, some of it is just so weird. But it's funny. It's just like, oh, this is, again, it's good to look back. To me, I know I talked with Saber about this earlier in the week about, like, it's important for me to kind of preserve what I can. Because if I don't do it now, especially with, like, VHS tapes, wear and tear on those just sitting over time is eventually going to take its toll. And I just was like, I would feel better if I did this. So I'm doing this while also editing the Bronies React. So yeah, no, just as usual, staying really busy. So, but it's been good. Been a good couple of weeks, and I know I'd really be curious what Sarah's last 2 weeks have been up to, but who knows? So yeah. So let's jump into some topics. This one might be a juicy one, and feel free to unleash in any way you guys would like to. Let's talk about the Oscars.
Yes.
Parasite won Best Picture. Nothing else matters. Move on. Let's go.
So,
fucking Parasite.
I haven't
Love
seen
that movie.
About the Oscars, though, is how it's very quick to cheer for it when it does something right, but very quick to dismiss it when it does something wrong.
And what did it do wrong?
Oh, animation every time, because they don't care about animation because the Academy is bullshit.
We have to remember that the Academy itself is, again, it's its own rules, its own little club of exclusive, high-profile people who decide what they want to watch and aren't even really held to it. They can vote even without watching it, without confirmation. So that being said, Toy Story 4 beat Klaus, which was upsetting. I think that Klaus, being the breakthrough that it was and being the technical marvel that it was, didn't get the recognition it deserved. And that I assume that most of these folks are like, oh, whatever, just give it Toy Story 4. Tom Hanks was in it. Give it to Toy Story 4, whatever.
Yeah.
So animation continues to be definitely an afterthought compared to other categories. That being said, though, like you said, Hun, Parasite got Best Picture and also Best Director for Paleo. How do you say his name? Bong Joon-ho.
Bong Joon-ho.
Best Director, and then didn't it win?
It also won Best Screenplay, Best Original
And
Screenplay.
international as well.
Yeah, and Best International Film.
So it wasn't a complete loss then, because Parasite is incredibly good and deserves it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Parasite was very well represented, obviously, which was a big surprise to me. Honestly, I was 100% convinced that they were gonna give Parasite international, but they were just gonna be like, "Oh, we gave international, so we're gonna give like 1917 the Best Picture one because we still gave something to Parasite." And it's like, all right, well that's shitty, but they didn't do it.
Yeah.
They surprised me this year because usually they're entirely garbage, and this time they were only partially garbage.
I
So
do
I give it to
wonder
them.
Oh,
about
but
the occasional time where they I don't know, I whatever. Haley, go ahead, Haley, go ahead.
Saber, I was gonna say to re-plug in your mic because it's doing the thing.
Okay, 1 second.
Yeah, but I was also gonna say, it's interesting about the animation thing because that was like the second award they gave out. I was like, whoa, really already? Because usually they do it like in the middle of the show.
Yeah.
Do I sound
And
better?
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And because last year they gave it to Spider-Verse, Though I think if they didn't give it to Spider-Verse,
There would have been riots in the street.
yeah. But yeah, with because Spider-Verse was also revolutionary with what it did.
Yes.
Making something that looks incredibly unique, and the fact that they didn't do it with Klaus this year is just kind of like, what? But
Yeah, it's
Parasite, like, it's nice that it's the first foreign language film to win Best Picture. And apparently the only I learned this from Jim. It's the only Korean film that has ever been nominated for Best Picture. And when you think about it, I was like, wait, there have been a lot of great Korean films in like the past 2 decades.
Yeah. That's weird.
For what it's worth, though, I mean, if you're looking for what the animation industry really thinks, watch the Annie Awards. The Oscars, it's not really a good representative of what the animation industry has accomplished, because every other industry and every other award ceremony recognized Klaus for what it was. Oscars seems to be like, oh, just give it to, I don't know, Toy Story. So yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
it's insulting.
Oh, I was also gonna say, Brad Pitt won for Best Supporting Actor.
Mm-hmm.
That is the first acting award he's ever gotten at the Oscars.
Really?
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah, because he got a award
So is he,
before for producing, but never for acting.
Interesting.
What was his previous award for?
It was for producing. I forgot
Oh, okay.
which film it was though.
Okay. See, like, so I'm cool with him winning that. And, like, obviously I'm happy about the Parasite stuff. I am disappointed but not surprised that Lighthouse got totally snubbed.
It got one nomination for
Yeah, only one
It
nomination.
was, like, cinematography, I think, which,
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, who won that? Was it 1917? Who was it?
Yes, it was.
So I still have not seen 1917. I know
It's great.
the bit is that it's all one shot, which it isn't, but it's just that it's like very well cut together to look like it's all one shot, which that's awesome. I'm sure it's great. But like I still feel like Lighthouse got real snubbed because like the writing in that movie is phenomenal. Like Willem Dafoe's performance is one of like the best things I've ever seen. And
Yeah, I'm surprised
like,
he wasn't nominated.
The lighting in that movie, like I don't know who the lighting director was for that movie, but like I want to marry them because it's so fucking good.
I think that's the biggest number of all is Willem Dafoe. I mean, what he did was just.
Like, he was incredible.
He
And
owned
like
that role.
Rob Pattinson was also incredible because like, you know, he's kind of in that phase of like, you know, he did his like big popular movie and everybody kind of typecasts him as being like, oh, he's just the guy from Twilight. And then he shows up in this like independent like psychological horror film and is amazing at it. It's so good.
Well, I was mentioning how animation gets snubbed. There's other genres who get snubbed.
Oh yeah, genres
Yeah, for
like
sure.
horror and sci-fi like always get snubbed for
I
stuff.
thought-
Horror, animation, sci-fi, anything that's not like drama, and that's it.
Yeah.
I thought Saber said porn, and I was like, yeah.
I'm tired of
Porn
diva.
always gets snubbed.
I want my Diva SFM porn animation to win Best Short. God damn it!
Yeah, just for how weird it is that like they made references to Midsummer and Us in the
Right?
beginning of the show, but it wasn't. Those two weren't nominated for anything.
That makes me furious.
It's very much so a there's a certain mentality, a certain type of content they want, and there will be the occasional moment where it breaks the mold. But
Like
I think.
Parasite.
Yeah, but at the same time, I do think that, like, I do wonder how often, and this is just me being, put my tinfoil hat on, where I'm like, how often does it actually come down to true merit of said film that deserves it versus the Oscars going, oh, we better do this and let them win so we can be seen as progressive and cool.
Right.
I completely think that has a lot to do with it.
Because, like, Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, like, just fucking obliterated that one year. And
Yeah.
and that's a moment where I'm like, I really hope that they gave this movie what it deserved because it earned it. It truly earned it. Like in every
Yes.
category it was in, it earned it. Versus, I guess part of me is like, I'm like, I really hope they didn't give Parasite Best Picture because they're like, well, we don't want to be racist. And it's like, no, that shouldn't have to be the thing we have to think about. It should be that Parasite is genuinely good and you gave it because of that. And it's such a weird thing to even bring up. And there's no way to really quantify it, but it's like, whatever. I just hope that Parasite won because it is truly good.
The biggest
I mean, honestly, I think it was the correct choice. So
the biggest disappointment is that Ugly Dolls was not the biggest musical.
Yeah.
this guy.
Damn, I was trying to think of a movie. I was like, no, wait, I should say Cats. No, Cats wasn't nominated for
Ah,
it.
yes. They,
Yeah.
like, wasn't part of the reason they rushed to be out by December so that they could be nominated?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the whole point? They like released the unfinished
I'm
movie
a
because they're
fat
like, oh, shit,
cat.
well, just sell it. Just put it out so we can get nominated for Oscars. And it's like, no, you didn't finish this movie. We're not going to nominate it for anything.
I like to eat. I like to sleep. I am a cat who is fat.
Yeah.
What was the song? Oh yeah, Elton John's song from Rocket Man.
I so appreciate Elton John because you can tell that he's a very genuine person in how he like, because he like when he won he was like so gleeful.
Yeah.
Like, I love Elton John. He's a cinnamon bun.
If you guys haven't seen it, you guys need to check out the second Kingsman movie. Because Elton
Yeah.
John's
I
in
haven't
it.
even seen the first one.
Oh,
Yeah, I need to see the first one.
Oh,
too.
really? Wow.
Yeah.
Sarah and I really like those movies. But yeah, like Elton John shows up, and honestly, he's like I'm just like, I want Elton John in like every movie now. Like, you'll see what I mean. I won't
It's
give anything
how I
else.
feel. That's how I feel about Willem Dafoe and Rob Pattinson. Like, I want every movie to be remade to just have the two of them be the entire
I
cast.
feel like
I'll tell
Willem
you
Dafoe is in every movie. Like-
No.
He's not in enough.
I really want to have Hugo Weaving and Willem Dafoe as the two main leads in a movie.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God.
Bring it.
I would love that. By the way, so Elton John has a home, or at least something they used to rent in Georgia, outside of Atlanta. There's a city called Buckhead, and outside of that, not too far off, is this really interesting building called the King and Queen Building, and they look like chessboard pieces, where like one top of the building looks like a king piece, and the other side looks like a queen piece, and Elton John, being the fabulous son of a bitch that he is in the queen piece, and has like, I think, a nice home or like some kind of a venue there. Because like I unless I am very mistaken, he definitely has some kind of presence in Georgia, and he has a private theater where they aired a screening of The Lion King, and that was the particular one where they screened How Can You Feel Love Tonight. That version had Timon and Pumbaa singing, which he strictly forbid. They did it anyway. He was there when they showed it, and he was pissed, and he apparently like lambasted the crew, being like, "Don't you guys know what you're doing, you fucking idiots? Like, go back to what I told you to do. Why'd you hire me?" But yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I need to verify that. I'm gonna use the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Have fun.
Don't forget that Elton John also has a production company that produced Romeo and Juliet and Sherlock Gnomes.
Oh shit, you're right.
That's why that's why there's Elton John songs in those movies.
See,
Oh
there's
my
another
God.
set of movies that got snubbed at the Oscars.
Is there?
Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Sherlock Gnomes.
Sarah and I saw Sherlock
Oh,
Gnomes in theaters. We're proud of that fact.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Was it any good?
Oh, have you guys not seen it? Paleo, you've
I've
seen
seen
it.
it.
Yeah. It's honestly one of the better Sherlock Holmes renditions, book or movie, that's out there.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. Honestly, I think.
I don't know. I hated Sherlock in that movie.
Well, yes, I'm serious.
This is our real criticism here.
This is how dare you criticize that masterpiece? Oh man.
Yeah. Well, like I think in general, like just as a summary of I guess, my opinion of the Oscars in general is that most of the time, it's terrible. But, like, everyone gets invested in it anyway. And I'm guilty of that, honestly. But it's like, you know...
Yeah, everybody does.
anything that is not a drama film or something that's super popular is basically going to get snubbed. So, like, there's just so many genre, like, because we were mentioning, like, horror and animation, but, like...
Yeah, and, like,
a time when...
Endgame was only nominated for visual effects.
Yeah,
so.
But there was a time, I don't think they do it anymore, but they used to have, like, a category that was comedy and musical, and it's like, those things have nothing to do with each other. That's what
Golden Globes does.
Oh, that's what it is. You're right.
Yeah, Golden Globes does comedy and musical and drama. And the thing is, like, the things that get nominated for comedy and musical are so hilarious. Like, The Martian won one year. It's like,
right? I don't know what the hell they're on, because, like, are they, like, taking acid when they're watching these movies? Because I got something completely different out of that.
They have them playing in the background, and they're not even, like, looking. Kind of like how I watch movies half the time, where I'm like, oh yeah, while I'm editing Brony's React. I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a movie.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, this year I didn't even tune in, didn't even care. Like if it was a movie that I felt strongly about, obviously Zootopia being an example. Like, I cared that year. I really cared. But since then, I just haven't, and I think a big part of that is because you know, they don't always get it wrong, but it's just they so often do that it's I don't know, it's kind of just, well, and granted, when we say wrong, you know, it's per what we consider wrong, but still, like, I don't know. I feel like it loses its luster when there's a lot of weird controversy around their decisions and whatnot. It just just makes
and,
it
like, some sort of weird influence.
Yeah. I mean, it's also just weird because essentially movies are art, and, you know, art can be perceived by people differently, and some people really care about, you know, these art house movies, and others care about Romeo and Juliet. So, you know, we all have our thing. Hirosashii.
Or the best film to ever grace cinema, Arctic Dogs.
Oh yes. And again, snubbed. Like, what the hell?
Completely snubbed. Ugh.
What do they have to do? I mean, at least the costume design in that movie should have gotten something. I mean,
well, you know, guys, I do gotta say one thing.
Yeah.
I think the live-action Lion King should have gotten a much larger representation this year at the Oscars.
Yes.
God damn it, Hirosashi's muted. Fuck. That was the whole point.
He's
Hiro
screaming.
Just joined and then muted, and I was trying to get him in, but that obviously didn't work because he has his mic muted.
He's gonna just leave. It's funny because I just grabbed a category out of thin air when I said the costume design, and then after I said it, I'm like, there was that scene where the Arctic dog is walking around in his tidy whities, which was somehow the biggest scene of the movie. Very important.
It's a character development, you know.
Yeah. Like you guys said, when it does come to you know, especially with, like, animated movies in a lot of cases, and like I said, I won't say all. Zootopia did win the Oscar in 2016, so they do get it right sometimes. But Annie Awards are, I feel like, where you really get an idea of what animated movies actually kind of, you know, deserve in a lot more cases what they're getting. So, poor animated movies. Someday they'll be taken seriously.
Maybe there needs to also be like a horror movies awards show so that they can be properly represented as well, because, like, I get so angry every year.
You would think.
I'm like, oh, this really good horror movie that came out. And like, every time Ari Aster makes a movie, I'm just like, why isn't that nominated for anything? Because like, when Hereditary came out, I was like, that's the scariest movie I've ever seen.
And couldn't they do it like during October? Like, they could literally have, like, well, our year is October to October, and it's like, bam, look at this. And then everyone's like,
I'd be into that. I'd watch that every year.
Dude. Guys, what are you doing next October? Let's get on this.
Let's do it.
The panelists will be us. And
Obviously, the most qualified people.
yes. I mean, really, are we less qualified than the people choosing at the Oscars? Are we?
You make a valid point.
Oh, man. So, yeah. Anything else that you guys wanted to point out or talk about that involved Oscars? Any other surprises? Or yeah,
Yes.
that makes sense. Yeah?
So I did not watch the Oscars because I don't like to give them the extra views because I'm always mad at them.
Yeah.
But I did intentionally seek out Idina Menzel's performance of Into the Unknown with all of the other international voice actors for Elsa, and it was fucking lit. I loved that.
Oh yeah, it was really great.
Oh my god. It chills the whole time.
Oh, I just, yeah.
I wanted to say with the Parasite winning Best Picture, it seems more plausible now that an animated movie can win Best Picture since a foreign language film did.
Right.
So maybe
no, I think
someday
that's
an
fair.
animated film will win.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Welcome
Maybe.
back.
Hi, Hiro.
Oh, there he is.
Hello.
Hiro, are you upset that Lion King got snubbed?
That was my bit.
Man, I can't even make a joke. No, I'm not upset.
We just got a super chat from Jack's Blade. Says, ask Laura if she saw Chucky presenting an award at the Horror Awards back when Child's Play 2 came out.
What? No.
That was apparently a
That's
thing.
amazing.
Oh, man.
I'm not even like the biggest Child's Play fan, but like that's amazing.
That's Child's Plays, and I mean, this is such a tangent, but such an odd series. Like, it started out in one way, and then like it's like everything as they went, it turned into more of a comedy than it did a horror
Well, over
movie.
time it grew into more of a parody of itself,
Yeah.
and it just kind of went with it.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where like they just couldn't stop the exponential growth, so they're just like, yeah, here we are.
Oh yeah.
He's having children now, and mommy and daddy. It's like, what?
Oh yeah, we have confirmed that this doll has not only had sex but produced children from it. It's fine.
Oh man, yeah. Jack's Blade sending you that clip, by the way, on Twitter.
Hell
so.
yeah. Thank you, my dude.
So any other thoughts on the Oscars? Nah? Okay. Again, welcome in, Hirosashii.
Hello.
Hey,
Thank
how
you.
have you been since we last
Oh
Heard
my god,
you.
absolutely awful, but that's all right.
Oh, no.
what happened?
It's work. It's one of those weeks where I just want to crawl up under a rock.
Oh,
I'm
But-
sorry. That sucks.
It's handleable because I get to come home and talk to you guys.
oh.
Hey.
I'm sorry that your week's sucky.
Thank you.
Yeah, I had one of those moments at work where I kind of sat and went, it's a good thing I have the mindset I do at this job, because the line of work that I have with engineering, and you have like the people that work in the shop and the people that work in between them and the managers and project managers and all this, what you'll get from time to time is people who like to project their problems as, well, this is someone's fault.
Mm-hmm.
And and I get it. Like, I receive that, and I just kind of sit and go, yeah. Okay. Whatever makes you feel better. Whatever.
It's just one of those times at work where I have two projects, which is fine usually, but they're both incredibly huge and hard projects, and it's just there's so much to do. And like, as soon as I have a sticky note, and like, I don't know if you know the sticky note application on your computer. I have a sticky note, and it has like like legitimately 9 items on it, and like every time I
Jesus.
clear one, I hear the Skype like bloop, somebody giving me another task to do. I'm just like I can't
Skype.
handle this anymore. I'm going to lose my brain.
Yikes. Well, hopefully you can relax. The weekend is almost
The
upon
weekend, it's so close.
you.
I need it.
It's
Man.
edging.
Was Saber saying
Make sure you
something?
get good sleep and stuff, and take care of yourself, because stress will get you, man.
Yeah. This is the first time I've been like legitimately stressed at my job, I think.
Oh.
I mean, all things considered, that's probably good then, right?
My job is awesome. It's
Good
just
job.
yeah.
Well, good. Good. So amongst topics, now Sarah had a couple topics, and some of these I actually am thinking about kind of waiting on. Well, I guess there's, let me see here. Let me click this and see what this is all about. Sarah mentioned here. Oh, yeah, okay. There were stop motion shorts that came out for MLP. Have you guys seen these?
Oh yeah, so I watched
I saw the most recent
two
one.
of them. I watched the fashion one and the Pinky and Twilight Potion one. Is there
Oh
another one?
yeah, I saw that one. Yeah, there's like another one in between those, I think.
Oh, okay, I must have missed it.
Wait, is this actual, like I'm watching it right now, is it actual stop motion or is it animation?
Yeah, it's stop
design?
motion.
It looks like it's stop motion.
Oh, that's kind of
Yeah,
cool.
I thought it was weird.
I mean, like I'm not listening to it. Is it?
There's no dialogue, but there's like
Wait, there's no dialogue?
sounds.
Yeah,
No.
they just do gas.
Oh, now I am listening to it.
They do like anime sounds.
Oh jeez.
No. Okay, so you Saber thought it was weird. What did you guys think of it? What was the general consensus of this?
I also think it's a little weird. I mean, it's kind of cute, but at the same time, like, I don't think it's necessary.
I'm just letting it play right now.
I think their noses make them look like they're pigs
Oh my god,
because
you're
they're like
right.
kind of added on top of their faces instead of like coming out from their faces like a horse's would.
You're
Yeah.
right. No, you're right. I was like, something's wrong, and I couldn't
Yeah.
figure out. Yeah, like because they have the mouth underneath the snout. They do look like pigs.
right? Right?
Oink oink oink. Oh, jeez.
And then today, that Pinkie Pie short about Valentine's Day came out.
Yeah.
Where she talks about Valentine's Day celebrations around the world. Not the world of Equestria, but the actual
The
world.
actual world. Great. This is the post pony content that I want.
So
Oh,
how
if you scroll
how
up
was
back
that?
in the chat, Hero, there's I think it's in, I don't know if it's cast only or in general that I put it, but there's a straight up just like Pinkie Pie at her news station with like a picture of the flag of
Flag
China,
of China,
like right
yeah.
behind her. That's...
Great. That's.
Dude, conventions better be ready because MLP is going off the charts.
It's coming back, baby.
Another thing in MLP news, and it's not really moving on from any of the others, but oh god, good luck to me. Kotobukiya.
Oh. Sure.
There are figurines apparently that are MLP.
Oh yes, they're so great. I have
Mhm.
one of them, and I'm awaiting another one.
So
That should be here Friday.
are they? It looks like they're human and pony figurines.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's like they have.
they come together.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like one.
well, I'd
they're
hope
on the
so.
same stand. So it's like one stand, and then there's like the human figure, and then like the small pony figure, and they're both like attached.
Man, you said you hope so, but like, damn, you have not entered the world of figurine collecting. That is very rare that they come together.
Oh no, when I say I hope so, it had nothing to do with.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. Thank you. I just kind of sat back and went, well, fine. We're not laughing at these jokes today. Yeah. So I see
waiting
that
for
there's
the
a
Apple Dark
Sunset
one.
Shimmer one that is announced?
Yeah, it was recently announced.
Is there?
Yeah, there's only a silhouette at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who
But
have they made?
They've made all the main stick except Applejack.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is there a
which is
rarity
the
one
one
out?
character. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
rating themselves.
What? I missed it.
I wanted the Rainbow Dash one at first, but I was like, her mouth looks a little weird to me. But I like everything else, but I'm just gonna wait for the Applejack one.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I want to get all of them. They're kind of pricey, but like I got the Twilight one, Fluttershy one's on the way. I didn't even realize that Rarity was out, so I'm gonna have to get on that.
She might be sold out. You might have to go
Ass.
to eBay.
Ass. What kind of price are you
Oh,
talking
like
about?
How cute
100.
the Applejack one is! Oh my god.
They're like 100 to 120, which for figures is like low mid range.
Okay.
Figures is expensive, man.
Yeah.
It's a bad hobby, and that's why I'm in it. Yeah.
And that's why I need a job.
I mean, like, real talk, yeah, kinda.
Oh.
Got my big boy toys and need my big boy bucks.
Yeah. Oh,
Hey, man.
okay. I gotcha. I thought you were saying you needed another job, and I'm like, oh.
Oh no, it's like that's why I'm maintaining a job so I can buy expensive pony merchandise.
Exactly.
So there's so much MLP related news. Funny enough, added to this is apparently
What year is it?
I know what's going on is that there was an announcement for a crossover, My Little Pony
Yeah.
and Transformers.
Yeah.
Friendship in
Oh, yeah.
disguise.
I looked at it and I was like, that's stupid. And I looked at it again and I was like, yeah, I'll buy it.
Finally,
That's about the energy I had, yeah.
wasn't this one of like the earliest like pony bits of content? Was Rainbow Dash versus somebody?
Starscream.
Yeah. So now
Yeah.
we can actually see this be canonically correct, right?
So, yeah. So this is a comic that they're doing.
Think so. Yeah. It looks like I'm reading up on it. Writers James. I don't know how to pronounce names. Asmus, Ian Flynn, and Sam Maggs. But then I saw Tony Fleeks as one of the illustrators. Yeah. So I guess it's a comic. I just love it.
Happening.
It's like somebody at Hasbro's like, you know what we need to do with the ponies? Everything. Which, granted, bronies probably some bronies have said that too, but they're looking at it differently. Yeah. No, this is interesting. Hey, whatever. I mean, content's content, right? So should be fun. I need to still watch the stop motion shorts myself. And those figurines, actually, I'm like, well, maybe get the Rainbow Dash one. Maybe.
The Rainbow Dash one looks really, really nice.
I love all of them.
Mm-hmm.
They're so good.
Now, do we know how many they plan on making since they have announced a Sunset Shimmer one? Do we know if they're going to branch further than that?
Now it's all up in the air. It was going to be just
I
the
mean-
6, and then they're like,
Yeah.
you know,
I
man,
hope they
that-
make a Starlight Glimmer one because that would be amazing.
That would be sweet.
I want the Dazzlings specifically.
Oh my god. Fucking yes. Give me a bunch.
And maybe like all three of them in like one figure.
Oh my
That
god,
would
that'd
be
be so cute.
That would cost a lot of money. But you would buy it.
Fucking know I would, dude.
Jack's Blade just hopped in saying with the super chat says, hell yeah, Transformer crossover, finally! I read the comic, so I'm hyped. So Jax is ready for this stuff. He's like, bring it. I was not a Transformers kid myself. Were any of you into Transformers at a young age?
I had some Transformers
Not
toys.
really.
I had a Transformers toy. I didn't know what it was until I was older, so no.
Technically, I broke the rule. Well, not rule, but I shouldn't have specified at a young age because, hell, you could be a fan now. But oh, who's a fan of children's shows these days?
Who likes My Little Pony?
Weirdo.
Speaking of stories,
Oh,
Hero.
Oh no. What's gonna happen?
that was something.
So tell us
Am I
the
telling
story.
the
Yeah.
story? It's actually not a long story really at all, but like I was going down the elevator to go home. It was 5 o'clock. I was like, all right, deuces, because this week sucks already on Tuesday. And my coworker, like, two of my coworkers were on the elevator, but one of them, we were just like riding the elevator down, and he's like, "Hey, Andrew, who's that character on your phone?" I have two characters. I have Retzko and I have Smolder. And as soon as he asked that, I was like, "Which one?" And I was like, internally, I was definitely like, "Yeah, this would go down so much easier if it's Retzko, just so much easier." And then he was like, I was like, "This one, the panda?" He's like, "No, the other one." I was like, "Oh, that's great."
Here we go.
I'm not ashamed of ponies. It's been a long time since I've been ashamed of ponies, but like that almost doesn't matter. Like one story is just easier to tell than the other one. He's like, you have to go into detail and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. She's from My Little Pony. And I was like, all right, best friends act. And he's like, I knew it. My kid loves that show. I was like, oh. And then we got off the elevator and went home. I was like, oh, that's it? I was expecting, because to be completely fair, he's a wonderful individual, but like he's definitely like an older generation. So I expected what you would from an older generation if you're stereotyping. So it was a pleasant surprise to just hear him be like, "Oh, that's cool." Granted, he knew I like
I'm just an asshole.
Yeah, right, exactly. But
Well-
what's even funnier is that I tweeted about that, and since my day was so hard, it's now turning in my week. But since my day was so hard, I went to go treat myself to a smoothie, and like
Nice.
I swear I'm not like putting these on display or anything. I just had it on my lap, my phone case. And when I went to go get a smoothie, the girl opened the window. She's like, "I gave you a little extra. I really like your keychains." I was like, "Wow!" It like both within 10 minutes of each other.
Whoa.
It's like, how is this happening?
So there's two things here with this story. A, I'd like to point out that I think it's really cute of the elder generational individual who pretended that their kid watches My Little Pony. Yeah, that's how I know.
Adorable.
And especially because like it is for them to recognize, because it's Smolder, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not
No,
even
that's
it's not even a
like,
pony. Like you don't just guess like, oh yeah, like you have to know that that's Smolder to even like go into that. So
Yeah.
A,
That's
She's so
the
late in the
second
series, too.
stylized.
yeah, it is.
Right.
B, you know, while this person who gave you that smoothie complimented your keychain, or excuse me, your these trinkets, the fact that they were on your lap means that they were also looking somewhere, and maybe
my
they
God.
just were like, you know what, this guy's all right. Jack's Blade is going nuts in the chat right now. But, yeah.
Oh my God.
No. But
Thanks, Jax.
What kind of smoothie was it? This is important.
Spinach pineapple.
Ooh.
It's actually Laura's fault that I'm on this like spinach crunch.
Yeah.
She gave us spinach one time. I was like, why am I not eating this more? And here we
It's
are.
just like you just sit there and eat leaves for like an hour, and like it's like
And
you
then
haven't
you
eaten anything. It's amazing.
Right, and you just get fiber. It just happens.
It's so nice.
Fiber, that thing that you literally never get enough of, like ever. Like ever,
no,
ever. You just get it for not doing anything. It's wonderful.
Oh yeah. No, I've been working spinach into my diet. Like I've been doing a lot of salads for lunches these days.
What is happening in the chat currently?
You mean with
I haven't
Jax?
even been looking at the chat.
Jax-
Sorry, chat.
Jax is going nuts. He's being sent to his room. Yeah. Said something about that she wanted that BBC action.
It's going so fast. I
What
can't
is-
read it.
What is the British
I think my browser's trying to catch up with.
Big boy career.
Big Boy career? I thought it was that news station, BBC.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
I don't get
the
it.
British Broadcasting Channel. I don't get what Jax is going
get
for.
Whatever. So let's see what else we have here. Okay. So I don't know.
Well, that was weird. My headphones cut out for a moment and then suddenly played like all of the backup audio at once, and it was just like.
So
Just like that.
I don't know how many of you even want to get into this conversation. I find it just funny. I know Sarah was like rolling her eyes at it. But and this will probably be the last topic before we get into the Q&A stuff. So again, if you'd like to submit a question, hashtag SPP questions on Twitter. And then we will also be, of course, taking Super Chats and prioritizing Super Chats to make sure. So Super Chats, we will for sure get through all of them, and we will try to get through as many of the Twitter questions as we can. I was going to bring up that, as we joked about, Valentine's Day is coming up. Sonic is going to be released here on Friday. There's some...
Well, while y'all talk about Sonic, I'm going to get another drink.
but I guess there's been this thing going around that some people, apparently some people who are strongly standing and defending Birds of Prey, which is the Harley Quinn movie that came out, have been making posts like saying that like basically the Sonic movie.
Yeah, that Sonic like says homophobic slurs in the movie.
I'm sorry. I don't even know. Like, there's probably some people out there, and even then that like want to. Apparently, the backstory behind this, for anyone that isn't up to date with it, is that Birds of Prey, which apparently has done well with critics, has done well, it seems, with like the audience reception. It's just not doing that well monetarily. Like, it's
Honestly, I just have not seen it advertised.
I've seen it advertised, but only in theaters, which isn't too unusual for me with movies.
Yeah.
But what's like, to me, the connection to it not doing well seems to be more related to the franchise it's in right now, which has burnt a lot of its core fans a couple of times. So.
Yeah. Also, I think Birds of Prey was probably a bad title for it. It should have led with Harley Quinn being like the name of the movie.
It's so weird.
Oh, is that what that movie is?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. See, point proven.
It's that one.
Yes.
Oh, that's bad. Why did they do that?
Oh man. So yeah. So I mean, there are things that we're already working against this Harley Quinn film.
So I have
Yeah, but like the fact that they're like trying to attack another
Sonic.
What was that, Laura?
I said I've returned, and you're not talking about Sonic.
Oh, but we are.
Yeah, we're talking about the fans of Birds of Prey that are trying to shit on Sonic to make people see Birds of Prey.
So you guys were just talking about the title. To be fair, it is the name of the comics, so it's like it's a title. Of
Yeah,
the
but when I said it, Hero was like, "Oh, that's what that movie's about." So
yeah, I caught like the tail end of that. I guess they were hoping that their advertisement would reach far enough that people would know.
Yeah, but also when you were gone, I was saying like I really haven't seen any advertisements for it other than like Ray said at the theater.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. So
I've seen. So I guess because I frequently watch YouTube on like my TV through like the Xbox app because it's just already connected, so I don't always have ad blocker. So I end up having to watch some advertisements for these greedy YouTubers. But yeah, so that's been coming up a lot on YouTube as an ad.
So Jax just posted this in a super chat. Thanks again, Jax. He's been super chatting tonight. It says, they are actually renaming it for that very reason, because people had no idea it was the Harley Quinn movie and it didn't make that much money.
They're renaming a movie that's already out? Are you fucking kidding me?
Is that a thing?
That's a nightmare.
It's patch notes. Patch notes.
What's up? Like, what's up with movie patch notes lately?
Why is EA making movies now? Like cats again.
But yeah, the whole like Twitter trend of like Birds of Prey fans like shitting on Sonic, it was like, wow, you just proved that the DCEU fans are worse than Sonic fans.
So this is, and I'll speak for her because I know that Sarah was seeing some of this too. Sarah's frustration, and for some of this, I agreed with everything that she had said because we spoke at lunch. Is that she's like, basically, I think to quote her, she said, "God damn it, can't there just be a female-led movie that doesn't have some bullshit around it?"
Annihilation. Annihilation.
Yeah, for real.
I still need to see that movie. Oh.
Yeah, well, that's
Watch
all
it.
you guys.
Like,
that
leave the podcast and go watch Annihilation.
Okay.
Like, just,
bye.
we'll handle it from here. Get out.
Yeah.
But like, so Annihilation was unfortunately went through like a bunch of hell with being released because it was like supposed to be like a Netflix movie and then like was only a Netflix movie in some countries. So like in some countries it was released on Netflix and then like in the US it came out like in January in theaters, but no one knew it was coming out because there was no advertising campaign. So nobody saw this movie, and I still think it was the best movie of that year. Like, it was fucking great. It was like the best representation of cosmic horror that I had ever seen at the time.
The only reason I knew this movie existed was because Saber was talking about it. This is the only way that I knew that Annihilation was even a movie.
Yeah, that's exactly. Like, you'd even know it existed unless like someone else told you it was happening, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, I think it's mainly
Hey, Gabe,
specifically
what's up?
like
Hello. I agree. Annihilation is one of the best movies ever made in terms of like the kind of horror that you might have in a dream if you're a scientist.
Oh
So
yeah.
fucking good. And it's like it's a full, like, the whole main cast is female and they don't make a big deal about it.
Don't make a big it's not something like
It's just like
Yeah.
they address it like once, and like Natalie Portman's character is like, they're like, oh, we're gonna go into this area of like science fiction nonsense, and then Natalie Portman's character is like, oh, like, it's an all women group, and the other girl's like, no, it's all scientists. Like, don't make a thing about it. So that's
exactly.
it. That's the whole thing.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
which I gave this movie credit with the Birds of Prey movie because as far as I saw, they just went into this as, here it is. Like, there wasn't, because I know Captain Marvel had a whole bunch of stupid stuff coming from the actress. I felt like Ghostbusters at one point tried to play things off as like, oh, well, this is this. Where like Birds of Prey was just like,
by at one point you mean their entire advertising campaign.
The thing is, you're gonna take off half of the human population if you try to make it like this group is better than that group, and it doesn't matter what's PC. You know, you're gonna tick people off. So it's a bad marketing strategy. It's just a bad marketing strategy to be like,
I agree.
oh, like
You know what I think the problem is? Because like a lot of the time, like female-led sci-fi movies, they never really make it a big deal. But for some reason, for like anything that's like based on comic books or whatever, or like heroes, they always make it a big deal.
Well, it's because
you're very right. Because like, look at Alien, you know.
Yeah, Alien, Arrival,
Mary
that
Poppins.
was recent.
Mary Poppins. By the way, we got
a Doctor Who spinoff. Yeah.
We got a super chat.
Yeah, like Arrival, like Mad Max, like with Charlize Theron, like being a main character in that.
Mad Max is so interesting because it's called Mad Max, but he's not even really necessarily the main character. He's more of like a guy who's joining. He's almost like you put yourself in his shoes.
Yeah, he's the audience. It's awesome.
He's the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the
And
audience.
I love that. Like Charlize Theron, you know, Furiosa. This is her journey. This is her story. Max is just joining along for the ride. Fucking love that movie so much.
By the way, I just want to mention that we did get a super chat from Saberspark, and it says, bitch. So thank you, Saber.
You're welcome. But honestly, I guess addressing the, it's because it gets people to talk about it, whether it be negative, positive, mostly negative. Women cast. Look how progressive we are. It's like, stop jerking yourselves off and just do it. Annihilation just did it. It didn't ask for handouts. It just did it. And it goes to right? And it just I don't know. Like Arrival, like Paleo or Laura, one of y'all said that. Like Arrival it's about this lady and
Arrival's
her.
fantastic.
Arrival might be one of the
I've
best
only
sci-fi
seen
movies
Arrival
of the decade.
once. I saw Arrival once in theaters, and it is like probably my second favorite movie of all time.
Nice.
Yeah.
The only reason I haven't seen it more times is because I know I'm gonna cry a lot, because like for kind of personal reasons of when it came out, and like it was pseudo relevant to my life, and I was just like, maybe I should not watch it right this second, and then that's been happening for the past couple of years.
Quick props to Arrival for presenting an alien species to be something that truly doesn't really like we can't wrap around our minds. I mean, we can wrap around it, but it's like we think of aliens as little green men or whatever, but it's like no,
why would they evolve with lateral symmetry if they're in a completely different atmosphere, a completely different environment, in fact we are less creative with our aliens than some of the life that exists on this planet.
Dude, so I'm with you. In Star Wars, I'm not trying to forget Star Wars or other sci-fi, but it's more like you're just kind of throwing extra stuff on top of already on a person. Yeah. So it's like that's why I appreciated Arrival, seeing these two like creatures where it's like, what are these things? This is beyond like what I expected. And what I love so much is these aliens are almost kind of holding our hands to take us along the journey of like, okay, we're gonna teach you, but let you all get there. I love that movie.
I do too, and I loved how their spoken language was different than their written language. Like there's a whole bunch of different, really really cool. I absolutely Arrival and Annihilation are my two like favorite sci-fi movies of the time, and I still think there were a few things with Annihilation, like, I don't know. I loved it, but there was, like, the Shimmer thing in theaters. They call it the Shimmer in the trailer, and then this sound plays. Like, that's the freaking reason I went to see that movie.
Yeah, dude, the sound effects.
It's so awesome, like the fucking backwards like
tuba,
brass,
I think it's
whatever it is.
Tuba, yeah.
Oh, it's so awesome.
Oh my gosh, it gives me freaking chills.
There are certain moments where like, I mean, okay, I'm just gonna say it. Music really is never seen when it comes to movie or cartoons as the main course. It's more it amplifies what you're seeing.
Unless you're John Williams.
John Williams did that. He honest to God elevated Star Wars way above than anything.
He elevated a lot of franchises to be super recognizable because of their
theme. Kipo and the Age of Wonder Beast, I think the music did a fantastic job of elevating something that was already good on its own 2 feet. Annihilation, that one sound in the trailer made me go, I want to see this. Like, just the sound was so disturbing, but almost like there's a certain part of me that's like, I'm curious to see what it's about. And I love it. I love it when you have those moments where there are movies where it's like not only are the visuals and the storytelling and the characters are great, but also the music amplifies it, and it just makes it this fucking amazing combo where it makes it to where it's like some of the best stuff out there. Mm-hmm. Like Howard Shore with Lord of the Rings is like unmatched in my opinion.
God, yes.
Yep. No, I mean, we've had this conversation plenty of times, so I'm sure a lot of people know how I feel personally about soundtracks. James Horner and Hans Zimmer, like their impacts go so far beyond just the film. Like you talk about John Williams, and I'm not saying like, oh, he invented soundtracks, but like I feel like he did, like, with how iconic some of his stuff was, I feel like he kind of elevated the game. And
he did,
so yeah, no,
he was one of the first people to like introduce like themes for each character, but have have a continuing theme throughout, but then like have specific themes for each character that were recognizable enough that when they would play. And another thing that he did that I thought was really, really cool is that he will use like parts of the like main theme, and he'll sprinkle it inside of a character's theme or something like that.
Yes. He absolutely does that. And I know that Last Jedi gets shit, but its soundtrack was really good. There's a certain song that combined 2 themes together quite beautifully.
Dude,
and I was like, whoa, that gave me goosebumps. How they like he fused it together.
You want to know what movie does that? What composer does that like better than any movie that I think I've seen?
Tell me.
It's freaking John Powell with How to Train Your Dragon.
Yes.
Has its own theme, and then when Toothless rides Hiccup, or Hiccup rides Toothless, whoa, here we go. For the first time. That's in the hentai. Anyway, when Hiccup rides Toothless for the first time, they actually combine Toothless and Hiccup's theme to make
That's
that
amazing.
yeah, and then they do Astrid and Toothless and Hiccup's theme like combined during Romantic Flight. Like there's so many
when he
it's
rides
so
her. Yeah.
Yeah, when he rides her.
That reminds me like about music. I've been playing through the Final Fantasy games, and like Nobuo Uematsu's music is like that, where like there's themes for different characters, and then like when like a certain event happens, it's like, oh, the theme's like different now.
Hero, was it you, Hero, or Jax, who said it's funny how music is what, squiggly sound waves or something like that?
Squiggly air, wiggly air. That's what it is. Wiggly air.
100%. That is correct.
That's what it is.
It's wiggly air. That's
I didn't create that though. I found that off like a Tumblr or something. I don't know, but
I want to say, like, I know Rick and Morty did an episode about like, show me what you got, but like the concept of like, wouldn't it be something if aliens came to Earth, they had no idea what music or art is? They're technologically advanced, but they don't know about the arts. They hear human music and they're like, whoa, what is this?
This fucking sucks.
Well, and also Dragon Ball Z played that off to that to a degree with also with how the gods and how aliens don't have good food. They come to Earth and they're like, "This is the best shit we've ever had. Like we have to protect this planet."
Oh, that reminds me about
ever.
the music thing.
But isn't that Close Encounters? Isn't that how they communicate through music?
Yeah, through music. But it reminds me about like in middle school, I read this book series called like my teacher is an alien or something, and like. This student goes to the teacher's house to like see what's happening because he thinks he's weird, and like he starts playing this music, but it's like alien music, and it like hurts the human's ears. It's like, what is this? It sounds like nonsense. But the teacher, the alien teacher, like is like singing along to it, and he doesn't allow music in his own class because human music hurts his ears.
Well, that's just anything by Cardi B.
Shots fired.
But yeah. Well, the thing that I think is cool about music is that it's mathematical, and like for whatever reason, you know, those.
It's such a gay thing to say.
Yeah, here we go.
I thought you were gonna suggest it's such a gay thing to say.
I mean, but that's I would think, because I've thought about stuff like that. It's like, what would be different? What would be the same? Like for an alien species, when we. That is similar enough to us that we like, because okay, like typically when I think of aliens, I imagine that they might exist in a temperature or in a medium or in an environment that we can't even communicate with them, because maybe they are live on a super cold planet and they move much slower and process and think much slower than we do, so we wouldn't even be able to identify them as life. Or they're gaseous. Like there could be a type of weird like nuclear fusion based life form that lives in a star. There's no way to really know that, and you can't really prove
Well, Gabe,
that.
didn't you say that there's even the possibility that they don't even exist in our dimension, that they're like beyond us?
Oh yeah. I mean, well, there's the Tesseract, which I know Marvel took that name because they thought it sounded cool. But
that makes me furious, by the way, because like they kept saying it in that movie. I'm like, that's not
what a Tesseract
is.
Yeah, no, a Tesseract. Well, at least the way that we just. The simplified version of a Tesseract is a shape that is beyond our dimension, and the only way we can observe it is in a 4-dimensional or a 3-dimensional shadow of a 4-dimensional object. And that shadow would then change. It would be very hard to perceive, but the best way to imagine something like that is to take the 3rd dimension, put it in the 2nd dimension, and then try to imagine a 3-dimensional object interacting with a 2-dimensional being. Anyway, yes, it's possible that there are life forms that may have even started in the 3rd dimension and transcended, or that were born and that exist in the 4th dimension, and that would be considered a god of sorts.
That'd be pretty dope. However, like you look at, for example, we're just talking about Arrival. I mean, for them, I guess pseudo spoilers for anyone who has not seen Arrival, if that's cool.
Go for it.
For the aliens in that movie.
2, 1. All right. I was doing a quick little countdown. 3, 2, 1. All right, go.
I see. For the aliens in that film, like time is essentially a spatial dimension.
Yes.
So it's like we can't even comprehend how their world works. It's like the whole point of that was in that movie is that they were trying to show up at the exact right, quote unquote time for us to be able to like help them in the future.
So I don't know if they did this intentionally with this movie, but obviously if these are four-dimensional beings, they could predict a series of futures. So Abbott probably knew that he was going to die when he went to Earth.
Yeah, absolutely, he did.
But then there's the other.
He did though.
Yeah, but here's the other thought that I have about that is like if they die, then death for us is linear, but our existence can't really be erased because basically all the choices. I try to imagine if I were to look at a human as if in the fourth dimension, we'd probably look like a squiggly line starting at the birth and then going all the way till death. And we are the culmination of the choices that we make and the life that we lead, but we experience ourselves as a three-dimensional being with choice and all that, but we're following this path that we have ultimately decided for ourselves. But these aliens, they would. I don't know if they did this on purpose, but I love the idea of their technology being something that can manipulate gravity, because gravity technically isn't a force, it is a space-time warp, and if they have access to technology that operates in the same realm of their existence, which is in the fourth dimension, they could create basically a version of gravity that operates outside of the influence of our gravitational field, which is why they have these ships that look like smooth asteroid coffee bean potato chips just hovering without emitting any radiation or making any noise.
No, that's I haven't thought about that way actually. That's super awesome, especially because gravity is so freaking weak anyway.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean,
extremely.
if you're able to manipulate literally anything else, you can pretty much overcome gravity.
Well,
yeah.
For the record, though, I one last thing, and I imagine we probably want to move on to the next topic because.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to listen to
this is
Laura and
right.
Gabe talk about science podcast.
Nah, it's good.
I love sitting and listening to people who are smart talk about stuff. But I was gonna say, I thought it was great in the movie how there's that one talk show. He's like, we should, show them how strong we are. Fire, across shot across the bow. And it's like, fucking shut up. Like,
all right, put your dick away. Calm down.
You've got aliens who came to Earth. At that point, you would just automatically assume that you are way out of your league. There's nothing you can do to flex at them at all. And also, guess what?
You're on travel means that they have more power.
Exactly. They're more than likely have already broken the whole faster than light speed travel, or at least manipulated it somehow that they can move through space that quickly.
I would guess warp, space time.
Some sort of wormhole technology. I don't know. Who knows?
Which is gravity based.
The aliens from Marvel said we're giving you this gift because we'll need you in the future to help us out, right?
Yes, that was the thing. That was they're like.
See, I love that. I love that they know. Well, they know that humanity, it's like we see you as a potential species to be good and grow. And I love that. 'Cause I have such optimism for humanity. As much as people shit on us, I really think that we are we can make it. I really do. Okay, I'm getting the philosophical point of stuff. Let's talk about something else, guys. I'm sorry.
Sonic, wasn't this about Sonic?
So let's go back to this How to Train Your Dragon hentai.
It's the Rainbow Dash.
Actually, we could kick off Q&A here. Good stuff, though, guys. Good stuff. Nor Mermaid.
Podcast still? What?
Look at your DMs, Laura. Look at your DMs.
In Discord?
Yes.
Okay. I got you.
Ooh, someone slid.
Steven sent me a really cute picture of a teeny tiny kitten wearing a bow.
Why didn't you share it with all of us, Steven?
Right?
Stupid. Oh, there
Share
it
the
is.
class.
And now everyone else is like, but we can't see it. Exactly. Nor Mermaid has a super chat and wants to ask a question for Gabe.
Oh no.
Says hi, or maybe he. I want to know your weirdest sleep story. By the way, love you, hugs. # vote Gabe for Shorty Awards.
Okay, first of all, I want to give Nora a shout out because she has been voting for me every single day and tweeting every single day and posting on her Instagram story every single day for people to vote for me in the Shorty Awards. And I super appreciate that. That is incredible dedication. And thank you very much. And if I win, I will shout you out. I've already made up my mind about that. So thank you very much for that, Nora. Usually when people ask me questions like that on the spot, I can't think of anything, but I actually do have one for my weirdest sleep story. I'll try to keep it short. I had a dream that I was like semi-conscious for, and I had entered sleep paralysis, and I was trying to figure out where I was and what was going on.
Wait, real quick. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I just want to ask you a question. Were you in sleep paralysis within the dream, or were you like outside of the dream, like you were asleep but you knew you were in sleep paralysis?
It was, at first I didn't notice it, but as I tried to wake up, I was aware of the fact that I couldn't move.
Okay, so it wasn't like a multiple layers of dream sleep paralysis, was it?
No. I didn't
Okay.
have sleep paralysis in the dream. In the dream,
Got it.
I thought I was driving my car.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But part of me knew that I wasn't driving my car, and I remembered thinking, crap, why can't I remember what I was doing before this? What's going on? I had a sense that I was in danger. And I managed to, in trying to figure out where I was last, the last thing I remembered was driving my car. And I thought, with my feeble dream brain, oh no, I've been in a car wreck, I'm bleeding out, I'm unconscious, I need to wake up and call the police so that I can be rescued. And I was convinced that I had been in a car wreck and that I was bleeding out. And I was trying really, really hard to open my eyes and to move. And I figured the reason I couldn't is because I was extremely weak, because I had lost a lot of blood. And it felt like it took like an hour for me to finally open my eyes and realize where I was. I had fallen asleep on a plane and forgotten about getting on the plane, but I remembered driving to the airport. And it was a horrible hour of my life.
That sounds terrifying.
It was awful. But I was so relieved when I woke up and realized I'm on a plane,
my
and then I
God.
thought, I hope I wasn't screaming.
That's interesting. I had a dream last night that I was in a parking lot and some homeless guy was trying to stick his butt through my window.
That wasn't real?
Saber, why wouldn't you let me in?
And I closed the window, like the little automatic window, and his butt was like gelatinous and getting caught in it. And he was like, I just want to talk, bro. I want to help you out. I'm like, no.
Okay, so this is kind of by chance, but I want to give
That's my boyfriend, ladies and gentlemen.
See, now I wonder what the psychiatrist would say about that. Like, well, here's my last dream. Oh. Okay.
Dreams are weird because I both freak out before I go to sleep because I'm like, oh, it's weird. But then, like, I don't know. I have a hard time going to sleep. I have a hard time waking up.
Oh my god. So, holy crap. I'm sorry. I just realized something. I've mentioned that I've been going through a bunch of like boxes that were in my garage, and one of the stuff or some of those boxes contain notebooks that I wrote stories in, blah blah blah. One of these actually contains a dream I wrote down back in 2006, and I think it predicted two things. Do you guys want to hear it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell us.
Do it.
Okay. All right. So I even dated it. This was October 15th, 2006. So.
Whoa. Okay.
She hot?
Yeah. So I was 17. Yeah. 17.
Just a wee dab.
So I'm just going to read this as it's written. Some of this might not make sense. I don't know. I just see it says dream. So I'm going to read it. Okay. I skimmed it. Here we go. Okay. Jungle. My friend Steven, and I put in parentheses, knew. This was somebody that I did not know. This was someone that I did not recognize. Which means we can assume that the Steven in this dream was Saber. All right?
Whoa.
So, jungle. My friend Steven and I wander through the jungle. It appears that we're alone. We continue to walk until a snap is heard. I jump out of the way before the rush of something nails Steven. Oh. And then he's gone. I find where Steven ends up in a few minutes. Time lapse. And it's not good. He's strapped by ropes to some log. And lava is going to be poured on him. I then realized the pile of bones to my right were dealing with cannibals.
Oh
my
God.
They have a type of town supposedly lit by flame sticks. I try to think of something that can save my friend when the lights go out. I go in the town of the cannibals and it is completely dark. In the far distance, I can hear the battle cries of the cannibals. It's horrifying. I begin to run for the town when 2 or 3 cannibals with their war paint faces and odd clothing emerge. Man, I was judgmental. But they're not after me. Something is after them. Out of the bushes come several blue men who stand and stare straight. They throw with ease spears and begin killing off the few cannibals. Guys, I predicted Avatar.
Holy shit.
So, and then the last paragraph. Something inside me tells me what's up, and I dash to where, somehow I know, Steven in the group is. There is a huge cliff-like feature as a whole separating the dungeon of lava to their hideout. I jump over into the camp to find Steven, a man, woman, and of course Indiana Jones, and that's all I had written.
And of course,
Indiana Jones. So not only did I know that I was gonna have a very interesting juggling experience with somebody named Steven, who I did not know, but I know now. And I also predicted Avatar.
That's amazing, dude.
So, yeah, I just wanted to share that because dreams came up and I'm like, I just saw this notebook last night. Oh, God. Dreams are funny.
Oh, this next super chat, y'all. Oh, my God.
Let's dive into it. Oops, I just clicked away. There we go. Actually, let's go to the one before that one. Super chat from Fritz Roll says, Gabe, you finally made it. I have a question for you. You mentioned in your TikTok challenge video that you're a baritone. Is that really true? Because I always thought of you as a tenor.
Yes, I have a lower
this dude's
voice.
Deaf baritone. Listen to that guy.
Oh, speaking of baritone, do your Dusty impersonation.
Hi. Yeah. It's Dusty. Hanging out, saying hi to everyone here. Nice to see you.
Dusty, thank you for coming. What's new, Dusty? I've seen you've been working on a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah, just making little guitars. Pretty cool. Made one for Daniel. I liked it. He played it. It sounds good. So, yeah, working on that.
It's so good.
It is scary good.
Thank you.
Can we give Ray, not Race, fuck Race. Can we give
Please.
Gabe props for, like, I was thinking about this yesterday. Like, Gabe, you've gone so far, dude. Like, you're getting close to 4 million subscribers. That's insane.
thanks, man.
You've come such a
long,
long way.
I mean, and the amazing part is that what I think a lot of people don't really respect about Gabe's climb is that he can't even read. So
Yeah, no, completely illiterate.
He's also completely flaccid at all times.
Yeah, so true.
that's
Never
what
been a
helps
problem.
him get work done.
Yeah, it's never been a problem.
No, but legitimately, I'll just fucking say it. I think it's amazing that Gabe, like, I think it's funny. They look like the pony stuff, and they're like, "Oh, he's just some fan," and just blew up. Keep going,
Thanks.
dude. Keep going. Don't stop.
That's nice. Of you.
And you're gonna be performing at MomoCon too, which is pretty.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Caleb Piles and me and 2 other guys who they haven't told me who they are yet. But I think I have an idea. But it should be fun. That'll be exciting. And then I'm going to Amsterdam. Next on the 26th, I'll be in Amsterdam. And
Nice.
Is it a Galicon or something, or?
it is a convention. It's called HarmonyCon. So if anybody's in that area,
Oh, yeah, that
come
one.
see me. Yeah.
Wait, what was the one that just happened then?
HarmonyCon? Uh-oh. Discord just went nuts.
Let's see.
That was weird. Yeah,
He went to go
Harmony
watch Annihilation. It's fine.
Time. Yeah, no, I came back. It was a great movie. Loved it.
You liked it? Yeah, it's good, right?
Oh man, our next super chat.
Oh, I didn't really answer the question. Sorry, real quick. Yes, I'm a baritone. Basically the way I've determined that is that every song that is in a baritone key or range is the easiest for me. Tenor is hard for me to sing. Most of my high notes I have to use my mixed voice to get to.
I have
But
no idea.
All the pop artists are tenors, so it's if you want to be able to sing modern pop, you have to stretch your voice up there.
Gabe, I'm gonna hire you. I think I've mentioned this before, but when I was younger, before I would go to every Saturday night event at my local stock car racetrack, I would write a song pertaining to the divisions that were racing there. So I'm gonna have you perform all of these songs.
That sounds good to me. And it's Hearthswarming Con. I lied. It's Hearthswarming Con.
Hearthswarming?
Oh,
What?
okay.
And Claire keeps calling it Hearthswarming Con, and I don't correct her because I think it's cute.
Fucking.
Do you even
can't
watch the show?
stand it.
Jesus.
No, she doesn't. Just kidding. I think she does.
She's still a thing.
So we got a super chat from Saberspark.
Love you.
And it
What
says,
does it say?
well, see, I actually just dropped my reading glasses, and it says,
Glasses?
it says,
Foxes can never marry rabbits. It's a rule of nature. And unfortunately,
a rule of nature.
Gabe, you're a scientist guy. Can you please verify that this is wrong? That
Scientist guy.
that rabbits and foxes
He's
can.
back.
Saber says rabbits and foxes can never marry, but can you please verify?
Oh, well, technically, no species outside of humans can marry because
That's correct.
Why? Why is that?
Well,
Why is that, Gabe?
If you take into account that one episode of Parks and Recreation where Leslie
the
Knope marries
penguins,
two
yeah.
penguins,
But that is a
Because it's
human
cute.
ritual. That's a
That's-
human
yeah.
ritual.
What makes
It is-
What makes it human, though?
Let me just finish what I'm saying. I'm gonna get on your side eventually.
Oh, I'm listening.
Okay. These are sentient animals. Assuming they have marriage and they're all sentient, it should be just as okay for foxes and rabbits to marry as it is for two men or women to marry.
too bad. We'll never
So-
get equal to
So
find
there's me trying to be politically correct.
I just want
But
to
Gabe.
mention. Mhm.
Yeah.
oh, sorry, Hero, you said something first.
Oh no, I was just gonna mention. Gabe was saying something, and then Racy said, "But why? Why is this like?" You said it exactly like the lady during the interview. Why? Why is this happening? Like the exact same way. I love it. It is like almost a legitimate requirement to be in our friend group that you have seen Zootopia like at least 7 times or more. It's ridiculous.
So okay, let me just address this real fast. So, you know, Zootopia came out in what, like 2016, 2015?
Yeah, 2016.
2016.
Mhm.
2016 was the same year that I met Saberspark, right?
Yay.
At BronyCon.
Hi guys,
So-
it's Saberspark.
So
Has it really been
came
that
out-
short and also that long? It's
Zootopia came out like what, in this early summer, maybe
March, I
midsummer.
believe.
Yeah, it came
March?
out like
It was March?
Spring.
Yeah.
So Zootopia came out. I didn't know any of y'all. And I was like, this Judy Hopps character is real cute. I should do a cosplay of her. Fast forward to a couple months later when, you know, I meet Saber and start becoming friends with the group in general. And I'm like, yeah, I probably shouldn't do that. I'm not gonna cosplay as Judy.
Throughout this whole story, I was doing that slow like nod zoom in. You know that. God, who's Jack?
But like
whatever?
legit,
Jack
that was a
Nicholson.
Thank
thing
you.
that happened over the course of like between 2016 to 2017. I was like, yeah, I guess I'm just not gonna do a Judy cosplay after all.
That's
It's
really
not gonna happen.
sad, actually. Thanks for ruining this for me, Saber. We got a super chat here from Zark7 says, speaking of dreams, are you guys gonna get Dreams on PS4 this Friday? It's a game that lets you play, create art, animations, VFX, SFX, music, and games.
Yeah, there's some insane things that people have made in there, and I'm like, how did you, how can you make this stuff in here?
That sounds really
It's like
cool.
an extremely advanced Little Big Planet.
Oh, damn, I haven't played Little Big Planet in such a long time.
I have not heard of this game before, but it might be something that Sarah and I pick up.
Yeah. Like, even if you don't make anything, like, just seeing what other people have made, because apparently, like, people have made games within this game.
Oh, that's cool. That sounds like the simulation we're in.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
What?
life,
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, dang it. I forget how to say
Man, I need
this
to
name.
get more games on Steam that you guys play, because I'm like, man, I wish I could just sit down and play Little Big Planet with you guys, because that'd be dope. But it's like...
Why are we not playing
PSN.
Tabletop Simulator? Like, I don't understand why
Fucking
we're
right?
not playing that.
Why aren't we playing Left 4 Dead right now?
Y'all have played
I mean-
Left 4 Dead. I want to play a table tap revolution.
Hero...
Wait,
I mean, I'll play Tabletop Simulator if you find
Yeah,
it.
like why are we not
Wait.
play? It's so easy.
let me real quick. I'm gonna gauge the room. How many of you guys have an interest in Dune, the Frank Herbert novel?
No.
Sorry, I don't know.
Literally zero. That's cool. That's fine.
Is that the one with the giant worms?
Yes.
I only know that
There was a David
because...
Lynch film.
So, okay, speaking of music, the only reason I know this, and then I'll let you get on your point, is that the soundtrack to a show, apparently, called Dune...
Yes, there was a series and there was a David Lynch film.
and there was the music that was used for that they made for that, they used it in the Indiana Jones trailer when the Indiana Jones 4 movie was coming
Really?
out. Yes, and I was like, what is this music? I
Huh.
love it. So, continue.
Well, I was just gonna say, if you guys are also Dune fans, that I recently discovered the Dune tabletop game, which is amazing. It's so good. It's really intense, but it's really good. So maybe I'll just like wait until we're all gonna be in the same actual location, and I'll bring the physical version of it.
Physical
And you'll all look at
game.
me like, Laura, what the fuck is this game? Like, I can't learn how to play this in 2 hours.
The game of life.
Yeah.
I feel bad because, like I say, I do not have like an ounce of memory, which is partially why I'm documenting every single thing that I have here.
That'll make sense.
Webster, is it Malik? I will go
Malik.
with Malik.
Malik.
It is Malik.
Yeah.
You remember
He's a
this,
regular on the
and now that
PBS
you
podcast.
say it,
I mean,
I do remember.
my cousin's name is Malik, so it's really, really.
I was
easy for
going
me to
with-
remember.
see, but I was going with Malik, and then I'm like, or am I remembering the wrong way I was saying it?
I know that feel.
Real
yeah.
quick though, before we move on, there is a new film about Dune coming out this year, so you all should see it.
I have seen
Dune 2020.
Yeah, I've seen.
Wait, who's the director of this one?
I should know this, but I don't immediately because I've been playing along with the drinking game. Let me
the drinking. Oh,
Let's
how's
move
that
on.
going?
It's the guy that did Blade Runner 2049 and Arrival.
oh fuck
Ooh.
yes. Oh my god.
Ah, who?
I mean heck.
how have you done? How has the drinking game gone? Have we hit up a lot of your markers?
I mean we hit up some things, you know how it goes.
I was just gonna mention Malik sent us a rose, so thank you for that super chat.
Oh,
Oh, thank you.
how lovely.
Right? Malik also actually sent in a question. Oh, what's this about? Someone's gonna have to fill me in. Malik wants to know thoughts on all of the interspecies reviewers drama nonsense.
It's- Okay, so here we go. I'm mad
Enlighten
at
me.
Interspecies Reviewers is an anime that came out this season and it's based off of a hentai manga,
Good.
I believe. and it's just a group of three, or a group of usually three, sometimes four guys going around and trying out all the local brothels because there's a bunch of different species in this world, and then they rate the brothels.
I came back to this. Got
Yeah.
Wait,
I'm trying to give like the most
person who has
scholar.
no idea what's happening.
Well,
Apparently, Jesus.
Laura, you wouldn't like it. Trust me.
You would not at all. I was trying to be as scholarly about it as possible, but yeah, that's the synopsis
Continue.
of the anime. But basically what had happened is Funimation decided to dub this anime, and I was like, wow, no way, because honestly, that show is just porn. It really is.
it's just porn.
It's just porn. I was like, I'm surprised this is on Japanese television, like at all, even if it is censored. But so yeah, Funimation decided to start dubbing it, and they dubbed, I believe, 3 episodes is what it was, and then they were like, oh, that's what this show is, because in episode 3, you like it really gets into the porn of it, and I guess they like realized that it was a little too much for their studio to do, so they just cut it.
It's like they could have looked ahead in the manga.
Yeah,
Wait, so you're telling me they started animating before?
No.
realizing it was porn?
No. Funimation is the dubbing company.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
My
they
mistake.
I mean, it's still terrible. They started dubbing it. They hired people to start dubbing this, and then there's like, we canceled.
The manga.
Yes, and then they
Oh my
canceled it,
God.
and the actors found out literally like everyone else did on Twitter that it had been like cut, which blows my
What's
mind.
the show called?
Interspecies Reviewers.
I am gonna look up this drama.
Don't worry, so am I already.
I don't care. You're all like, oh, Laura, don't.
No,
But-
Laura, do.
What's
Thank you
even
for supporting me.
What's even more is more recently I mean, like, people gave Funimation shit for, basically firing a bunch of like dubbers without even telling them. Also for starting something without knowing the full premise of it. Like, what? And then recently,
What is this, Star Wars?
recently, within like the last week, I believe, it's also stopped airing on Japanese television because they found out that it is also too much. I'm not sure where it's airing. It's still airing somewhere. Like, it's still being.
Yeah, it's just not at the same channel.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of mess. Honestly, Funimation said that it doesn't align with their values. Which, I mean, looking at the show, I get that it's literally porn, but like, how could you not know what you were starting? It's a gigantic miss.
See, the funny thing is, you're saying this, and I'm looking up this stuff on Google, and I don't know if I'm actually looking at art from the show or porn that people have made.
Let's see. Issues of Let's see here. You have safe shift. You have safe search on or off?
Oh God, what even?
Do I
are
have
these
safe search
characters?
on? What kind of question is that, Hero?
I have safe search on. These are all from the show or from the manga. Yes, I don't see any fan art here.
Wow.
Yeah, this is all from the show. I think it's a gigantic mess. Funimation really royally messed up. I'm more mad at them than the fact that it stopped airing on Japanese television. I don't really care about that. That show was literally porn. That's what I have to say about it.
They were also distributing the official sub for it too, but I guess they stopped that now. So now people have to rely on something else for the subs.
Sarah's gonna. I'm like, I should make sure I'm not screen sharing while I'm browsing this Google thing. But Sarah's gonna walk in and be like, "Seriously, this is what you're doing when I'm not here for the podcast?"
You got
Yes.
$20 super chat from Fritz Roll.
Yeah, we do. Fritz Roll, and this will probably be. Oh, I didn't even grab any questions from Twitter. I will grab one question from Twitter tonight. Following. So actually, let me do a Twitter question, and then we'll finish things off with Fritz Roll. Just so we at least hit up one. Okay, here's a question from Nathaniel Foga asking, "What's your favorite Valentine's Day candy?" And with that question, I'm gonna double and say, "What's also your least favorite Valentine's Day candy?"
Is there
Never
Valentine's
had
Day
Valentine's
candy?
Day
Yeah, of course
What
there
is
You know
that?
those little hearts.
You mean,
Little
But they're just,
candy.
you
it's
mean
just the
chalk
candy.
with sugar?
It's just
Yeah,
it's just the candy, but in a heart shape.
No, those.
But
those-
they say things like "be mine."
Well, let's be real with each other. Like, there really isn't anything exclusive about that chocolate. Like, it's all perceived. Because if you want to get yourself,
It just
box of
comes in a
chocolate-
heart-shaped box,
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that being said,
just like the Nirvana song.
just shut up, you fucking fuck.
You interrupted him like 3 times.
That's paleo though. God damn it. Go play Guitar Hero or something. Right? Actually, I like Paleo's theory that Guitar Hero is what killed off rock and roll. You should do a video about that, dude, for real.
Yeah, I will.
But what I'm getting at is that I'm on keto. I really want to have some candy. I mean that. I really do. I want to have candy.
Oh yeah,
so
that's you
bad.
can't have sugar.
I dreamt about having a garlic bread pizza last night, and I woke up and I was like,
Saber, are you
honey.
okay? Like, we can talk.
No, it's all right, but I want to know because it makes me feel better. What kind of candy you guys like, and what kind do you not like? Laura, let me know what kind you want so I can buy some for you.
You bought me like a bunch of boxes of chocolate, like because you moved into my house, and that was it. And I'm like, don't buy me things. It's fine. You're paying the bills.
I used to like them, but now I think they're actually one of my least favorite. Is whatchamacallits. They kind of suck.
Oh, the actual candy
Yes,
called
the actual
whatchamacallits.
whatchamacallits.
Wait,
Yeah,
what-
they're not
what-
good.
What's in
The
the
what?
whatchama?
Yeah, what Saber said. What shima?
Oh yeah, those things. Those are I've had one before. They're pretty good. They're
You like
cool.
them?
Wait,
They have
what
this
are we talking
crisp
about?
to it.
Whatchamacallits.
Whatchamacallits.
We're all typing this
chat.
in.
Oh, is that literally what it's called?
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. I mean, again, God, I love caramel. So those chocolates with caramel, I am all for that
Oh
stuff.
my god, caramels are the best.
Sea salt caramel. Oh,
Mm.
I feel
Yeah,
kind of
they
bad
really
because Saber's
are.
sitting here going, I can't eat this. Which I am on Saturday
It's
morning.
all right. That's my own decision. to make.
True. Saturday morning, I am going. Yeah, because I never have remorse when I'm sitting next to Sarah saying, I'm going to eat all this stuff. And she's like, good for you. But yeah, I'm gonna be at our Ralph's Saturday morning, the day after Valentine's Day, looking for some discount candy. Oh,
Nice,
yeah.
dude. I'll tell you what. Right now, I remember getting a burrito with you when I was visiting Equestria Lane in like 2015.
Yes.
And it was like that red sauce burrito that you told me was massive. I didn't believe you, but it actually was the size.
This is how my fan fiction starts.
Oh yeah, it's a big burrito.
His burrito was dripping. I licked it off. No, but it was this burrito was like as big as my skull. It was huge. I digress.
Yeah. No,
I'll tell you
Gabe
right now,
Gabe has since
he-
eaten that burrito also, by the way.
Yes, he's earned his way into Valhalla.
Hot.
So we actually did...
Jelly beans aren't that bad, by the way. So jelly beans aren't as bad as people make them. Oh god, there's a certain type of jelly bean that's really good, but other ones aren't that great.
Is it the
but, like,
Starburst jelly beans?
Yes, thank you. Starburst jelly beans are fantastic. I
Right?
love those.
I love them too. I'm just glad that I actually guessed for all the types of jelly beans
You
that are
know
out
what I
there.
was talking about.
Yeah, right? We're connected. Someone's eating something. Is that Laura?
No, I'm opening one of the boxes of chocolates that's still in the box.
Oh! Happy
Yay.
Valentine's Day. By the way, I just want to throw this out. Sarah and I are celebrating Valentine's Day on Thursday. So screw all of the lines and everything that are going to be dealt with on Friday. We have made it. Fritzroll had a super chat question here. Another question for all of you. 2 days ago, I've gained a secret admirer. As much as I should feel pleased, instead I'm feeling overwhelmed and concerned because I've never been in this situation before. What advice do you have?
Play it cool. Don't overthink it.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest thing is don't overthink it on a serious level. Like,
Buy a gun.
Don't,
Don't do that.
and let them know that you're strong. Now, honest to God, though, if just personally, I think that don't let it consume you. Don't let it be your ever waking thought. Just be chill, enjoy it. Be loose. Hey, what's up? Hey, if you reciprocate those feelings, then go hang out with him or her and have a good time.
I will add also, be careful, because with secret admirers, sometimes it's could possibly not be actually a secret admirer.
Go on a date. If you do want to go on a date, go somewhere that's very public.
Yes.
And because I've been, more so in school back in the day of elementary school where you had secret admirers write you letters. I never trusted that stuff because I'm pretty sure some guy probably wrote this to me as a joke. So then they'd think ha ha ha. And so I never trusted that stuff. So who knows?
Race.
Yeah.
They were gay.
Yeah.
Boom.
You jerk.
Oh, now I just feel bad.
My dad had a roommate today who took his hands and said, "What would you do if I told you I loved you?"
Wait, what?
Yeah, my dad had a roommate in college, and
I thought you said your dad grabbed your hands and said that to you.
Oh my gosh!
And again with my Jack Nicholson nodding head, going,
We got a super chat from Malik Webster, by the way.
Yeah, we did. And
Don't say his name.
Malik. This will be our last question of the night. I guess we made up for the earliness of the last podcast. Malik is asking, what's your favorite flowers? I just got black roses for my all-female coworkers today. Oh, excuse me, for all my female coworkers today.
For my all-female coworker.
Not that. Okay.
Not the partially female.
Kind of me to buy flowers, by the way. That's nice of you.
Yeah, that's really sweet. Black roses, huh?
I'm not even gonna say black people. I was like, where are you going with it?
I bought black people for all my
I want black people for my all-female coworkers.
What year is it?
I just want to show you that I care.
The bad answer. The bad answer for that, Laura, is not long enough. It's embarrassing how recent.
How recent? Yeah, you're right.
Exactly. It's that should have been much further back than it actually was.
Run upstairs.
But I love orchids, and Laura, I bought
you stole my favorite flower.
I bought Laura purple orchids one time.
He did. That's my favorite flower, and he just stole it right now.
The same way I stole your heart. Actually, it didn't happen that way, but still.
Is that how it happened?
No.
Is that how it went down?
No.
Hey, by the way, hey Fritz roll. My current girlfriend started out as a secret admirer, and so there you go. Sometimes it happens.
I was pretty upfront
she
with you
secret?
about this, so don't give me that BS. I told you.
Yeah, I feel like the signals were all there. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Grace was just totally saying it was there. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I
Well, I'm
like-
just trying to be encouraging.
I put my burrito in your hand and said, "Be mine" on Valentine's Day.
And I
But
said,
the next step is up
wait
to
a
you.
minute.
Let me ask. I'm genuinely kidding.
Yes.
Is be mine? I feel like it's so aggressive. Is it
Right?
be mine?
They should have a heart that just says "die."
I want to say real fast, by the way, there is nothing wrong with being single on Valentine's Day.
No.
I think it's such a beautiful thing to be able to love yourself, and then there's nothing wrong with also being like, no, honest to God, if you feeling lonely, I completely hear you, but at the same time, one of the most important things in life is loving yourself, being comfortable with yourself, knowing who you are, and what you like about you. And
That's absolutely true. And it's such a good day for self-reflection. If you're gonna be like, oh, let me just do things that I like to do. If you're feeling uncomfortable because oh, I'm alone. All right, well in that case, if I feel alone, let me just take some time to do the things I want to do and take care of myself and maybe do a treat yourself day.
Don't let society weigh your worth by you not having a significant other. That's just my advice.
Well, also, one thing Gabe, did you unplug your headphones?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I was
said it. Yeah.
I was gonna go eat. All right, hang on. I'll put them back in.
Wait, what was your strategy here? You were just gonna go eat?
Wasn't you anything up first?
I was gonna go down. I went to the bathroom. I was gonna go grab.
He's got some hot dogs in the microwave that need to come out right now.
Well, no, but I was just gonna say that off of Saber and Laura's note is like I always enjoyed Valentine's Day because it was an opportunity when I was younger for friends to just kind of like give me candy, and I thought that was great. So I mean, there's a lot of
Right?
way, you know,
There was this thing back in school I didn't like called Valograms. And
Oh yeah.
I hated that because it felt like it was such a, I don't know, like way to leave people out, where it's like, hey, your parents, your friends, or some secret admirer bought you a Valogram, but then there are other kids who are just sitting there. And I was on the receiving end of that, where it's like, I got nothing. And that hurt. Because when you're a kid, you're fragile, you're still stupid. And
Yeah.
like, whatever. I'm digress, but still, like, again, love yourself. That's so important in this life, is to know how to love yourself. That's huge.
You know, I used to think that was BS because I was like, oh, I should be putting my love towards other people. But someone told me something when I was in a pretty rough spot a couple years ago. And they were like, if you don't take care of yourself, you won't be able to take care of other people either.
Yes.
And I was like,
yeah.
oh, snap. So if I want to be altruistic about this, I need to take care of myself or I'm going to hurt people who I care about. And that's kind of where my motivation to focus a little bit more on my own happiness came from.
Yeah. So I'm gonna
It's a good mindset.
I'm gonna ask two more.
Well, Race, I know that you're probably hungry and want to go eat dinner. Gabe, you want to eat dinner? Do I want to close out and say goodbye and call it a night?
Well, actually, I need to ask real quick, Sarah, what's your favorite Valentine's Day candy?
Sarah
made it. We stalled for a half hour.
He was in the bathroom for so long.
Sarah.
Our leader is here.
Mom.
Dairy-free chocolate peanut butter cups.
Oh, see, she had this one ready.
Yeah.
Oh, yummy.
And then, what is your favorite flower?
I don't know what it's actually like. I don't know if this is its actual name, but
mine is
called
the Hawaiian bird thing.
bird of paradise.
That's called a bird of paradise.
Thank you, the bird of paradise.
Yeah.
I was trying to hook up all the audio stuff so Sarah could actually hear the podcast. That's why I was away for a second. Wow, Sarah, what is it called, Sarah?
An Indian blanket, also known as a Gaillardia pulchella.
Well, Sarah, you ready to end the podcast?
Yeah.
All right.
You got one more super chat. One more.
Oh, did one sneak in?
Sneak in.
Yeah, one more.
Let me see. Wait.
Now Sarah's in charge. See.
Let's do one word answers. It's from Malik Webster saying, "What's your favorite Valentine's Day special?" I love Ed and Eddie's, Hanky Panky, Hullabaloo. I like I don't have
One
one.
word.
What did you say?
I can't do one word. Are you kidding me?
Give a couple words.
or an answer. Just one answer.
I'm trying.
I
to
like
think.
the Bob's Burgers one where they have like the candy grams with the or it's not candy grams, it's like the carnations, whatever flower, I don't know.
What
There's like the
incarnation?
scene with Bob and Linda, and it's like one of them's just like, "Oh, you forgot to get the flowers, son." It's like, "Yep." It's like, "Oh, you wanna go home and make out?" Yeah. And
I like-
it's a whole bit.
Sounds nice.
I like the Simpsons episode where Release is being nice to Ralph and
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that
I
one too.
choose you.
yeah, that one's great. That's great. I actually felt really bad for Ralph when he had nobody in his little like Valentine's card, because that's again going back to school. That hurts. That hits you as a kid. It hurts.
I
But
don't know if it was a Valentine's Day episode, but I remember that one episode of Hey Arnold where they were like going through the "I like you, but I don't like you," and it was
Oh
funny
my God.
because like
I hated that so much. It's such bullshit.
Me too.
But the reason
we need to talk about that one day, Sarah. I can't for a while. Jax likes Lila. I don't like Lila.
I don't like her. No.
Lila is such a generic character. I don't know. Well, it's this is too much to talk about at the end of the podcast. Whatever.
We'll come
Dem
back.
ponies.
We'll come back. Again, thank you to
Dem
all
ponies.
of our super chatters. Sir, how do I find that? Because I don't know.
Sorry, which one?
We want to thank our super chatters.
Okay, 1 second. There it is.
There it is. Sarah, thank our super chatters.
All right, thank you, Jax Blade. Thank you, Saberspark. Thank you, Nora Mermaid,
welcome.
Fritz Roll, Zark7, Malik Webster,
Malik.
Fritz Roll, and
You're welcome.
that's it.
You're welcome.
That's all of our individuals.
All right. Again, we'll be back in 2 weeks, Sarah. That would be February 26th, 2020. Thank you for hanging out. It was a long one tonight, but we hope you all had fun. Again, thanks to the podcasters. Thanks to everyone watching live. Of course, thanks to our super chatters. And thanks to everyone listening on delay. That is the end of the semi-perfect podcast here tonight. Sarah made it, everybody.
Yay.
Have a wonderful Valentine's Day, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Dem ponies, finish your drinks.
Bye.
Dim hedgehogs.
Ugh.